Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakathum. To all the brothers. Shalom. Yahweh Shema. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. To all the sisters. I am priest and officer Abad Hayah 500, holding down the Sabbath service with priest and officer. And we're going to keep the tradition what we have been taught. We're going to get this Sabbath service going. And with that, I'm arguing to just the men up here. We are standing though. With that, can you blow the horn, Babu Kashaw? Most High in Christ. Pass me a chalice, Babu Kashaw. One of the silver one. Water. All right. Israel, it's important that we attend the Sabbath service. It's a high holy day. We get to learn our history. We get to go into the Tanakh and the Hebrew and in the English, so we can get these scriptures.
La
Which means to Israel. The water. Blow the horn again. What's on Christ? We'll put this on your shoulder, right shoulder. Put this on your right shoulder. And we're going to start the prayers. So with that, Imagine, which means to stand. Sorry, we'll pump the hakwadam. We turn and face the east. And we're going to start these prayers. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Repeat after me. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayah. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakithka. Taba'ah. Watzayaka. Hayah. I.S.U.P.K. Barakaza. Kawo. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathan Lanawa. Lacham. Kaw. Yawam. Wasalak Lanawa. Chab Wawak Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Chab Wawak Yanawa. Wala'ah. Tabayai Nawa. Banasaya 1. Abo. Hawashai Nawa. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Lakab. Hamalakwa. Wala'ala. Watapara. Lawalaya. Aman. The English.
Our Father. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
This is the blessed Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Barak Lanawa. Wayasharala. Wahabayach. Saparium. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The water Aman.
Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Bless us. And Israel.
In the school.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
So be it. Slaki Israel. Because we do the hakak, the power. This is the hakak, or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Babu Kashaw. Nathan Lanawa. Hakak. La'apa'ah. Ka Makala. Wakal Madawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahapium. Hamathium. Hakak. Arakawah. Hatama'ala. Lagorshan. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The water Aman.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse.
power to cleanse,
the lepers,
the
power to raise the dead,
power to raise the dead,
power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
cast them out in the name of Yahushua.
to cast them out in the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa Mayaka'ala.
Wa Maka'al.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Lahayim.
Mutazabaya.
Matazabaya.
Alawat Yahan.
Alawat Yahanna.
Ha Alawatya.
Ka Halawatya.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Kwadzayanyam.
Ha Kwatazanyam.
Ha Khal Yanyam.
Ha Khal Yanyam.
Wa Ha Akwakyam.
Wa Ha Hawakyam.
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua.
The water Aman.
The water Aman. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commander General Yohanan.
Commander General Yohanan.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha.
Asha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahoriam.
Alahoyam.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'a.
Yaba'a.
Izoria.
Azoria.
Izoria.
Azoria.
Ma'ain.
Ma'ain.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Asha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'arataza.
Ayawataza.
Ayathan.
Ayatan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Wagalka.
Wagayaka.
Al-Yanawam.
Ayanawam.
Shamoraka.
Shemoraka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yayishan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamaraka.
Shemoraka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tizalka.
Zayaka.
Al-Ya.
Aya.
Yamyamka.
Yamyamka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash. Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'a.
La'a.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayara.
Wayara.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamaraka.
Yashimorka.
Makarai.
Makayara.
Yashamar.
Yashimor.
Afnapashka.
Achnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashimor.
Taza Afka.
Tazaafka.
Waba Wa'aka.
Waba Wa'afka.
Ma'aita.
Ma'ata.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
Awalam.
Awalam. In English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From which cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord,
Which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold, that he that keepeth Israel
Behold, he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by
nor
night.
the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all
The
evil.
Lord shall preserve thee from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy
and
going
thy
out
going in thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time
From
forth
this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. And we got one more left. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Repeat after me. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damayadaka.
Adal Manaka.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Dakarash.
Wa al-Tashakwat.
Al-Dashakwa.
Al. Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awuyabika.
Ayabika.
Yahama.
Yahamam.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Ya'ariyamwa.
Aryamya.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayatha.
Wayata.
Ya'ai-Tazawa.
Ya'aitazawa.
Al-Tazapawanyika.
Al-Tazawanyuka.
Amorawa.
Amorava.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Nurakwakiam.
Magawa.
Makayawa.
Wala Yazakar.
Wala Adakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Iwada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'ai-Tazawa. Nawa'ai-Tazawa.
Nayawai
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Al-Yaka.
Ayaka.
Barya.
Baya.
Yakarathwa.
Yakawafwa.
Ahaya.
Ahaya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wayashama.
Washama.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagorium.
Wagoria.
Gabor.
Gabor.
Amawan.
Amawan.
Wamalak.
Wamala.
Halasha.
Halasha.
Amyashabia.
Abeshabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gamashawar.
Kamashawar.
Nalawa.
Alawa.
Imam.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Ayawa.
Zarwa.
Darawa.
Labanyalawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Ashalaham.
Ashalam.
Kamadyam.
Kamadyam.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Kwayashwan.
Kwayashawan.
Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan, Da'ira, Hayawa, Daman, La'adatma, Shayathumwa, Nadab Yamawa, Ka'ira, Wakaza Abba, Wakaza Ba, Wakata Zalmana, Ka Nasia Kamwa, Ashur, Amorwa, Naya Rashaki, Naya Rasha, Lanawa, Na'awa, Alahayam, Shayathumwa, Kagagila, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Tabayaira, Wakala Abba, Talahat, Harayam, Khan, Tharadapma, Basairika, Wabasa Wapaka, Tabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shabka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Pany, Wayabahawa, Ayai, Wayakaparwa, Wayaabatwa, Wayadaigwa, Kaya'ata, Shabka, Yahweh, Labaka, Ayawan, Al-Kaharataza.
In English, keep not thy silence, O God, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
have
lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden one. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel. May be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They have confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. And Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. The inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hoping the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles. Like Oreb. And like Zeed. Yea. Are their princes of Zeba. And Zamuna. Who said, Let us take to ourselves the house of God. In possession. Oh my power. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth a wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them. Them with the tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. In trouble forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. Perish. That men may know. That thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over the earth.
Sorry, means to turn. Shabbat, which means to be seated. Yeah, come. What? Grab the door with the shawl. Israel, we starting at Genesis 50 and verse 1. So get that ready. We're going to start in the Hebrew as tradition in Ibaria. So let's get Genesis 50 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Okay. This is Genesis chapter 50 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Y-A-P-K, I.S.U.P.K, Panya. Did you want it, sir? Or you come. Abba Yawa. Wa Ya Bak Al Yawa. Wa Ya Shak Lawa. Verse 2. Wa Ya Tazawa. Ya Wasa. Abad Yawa. Hara Pa'ayam. La Khanat. Abba Yawa. Waya Khan, Waya Khanat wa. Hara Pa'ayam. Yasharala. This is Genesis 50 and verse 3 in the Hebrew. Waya Mala Awa. Lawa. Rabayam. Yawam. Kaya. Khan. Wama La'awa. Yum-ya. Ha Khanat Yum. Waya Habak wa. Afwa Ma Tazaryum. Shabayum. Yawam. Verse 4. Waya Abarwa. Yum-ya. Ba Kayafwa. Waya Dabar. Yawasa al Bayaf Para Iha La Amar Na'a Mataza'af Ya Khan Ba'ai Yana Yakum Dabar Wa Na'a Ba'a Zanya Paraiha La Amar. Verse 5. Abaya Ha Shab Ya Ainya La Amar Ha Na Anakya Ma Ba Kabarya Ashar Karayafya Laya Ba'arataza Kana'ain Shema Thakabar Thakabaranya Wa'ata Allah Na'a Wa'akwa Bara Af Abaya Wa'a Shawaba. Verse 6. Waya Amar Paraiha Allah Wa Kwabar Af Abba Yak Ka Ashar Ha Shaba Ya'ika. Verse 7. Waya Al Was Yawasa La Kwabar Af Abba Yawa Waya Al Wa Afwa Cow Badya Paraiha Zakwanya Bayahwa Wakal Zakanya Arataza Ma Tazaria. That was the end of verse 7. Now we're going to get into the English. Israel, just to catch everybody back up, Jasharala, or Jacob, Israel, he just told us what's going to befall us in the last days to each and every tribe, and then he passed away, and that's where we at right now. So can you read 51?
The book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 1. And Joseph fell upon his father's face and wept upon him and kissed him.
Yeah, Joseph is one of the sons of Israel. Yasharallah, that's who his father. That's what Joseph's father is. Yasharallah, Israel. He just died. So Joseph, a good son who loved his father, was mourning him. Read.
And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father, and the physicians embalmed Israel.
Israel told Joseph that he needed to be buried where he wanted to be buried where his father, where his forefathers was, Abraham and Isaac. So to preserve, he had to preserve his body to do that. So traditionally we wouldn't embalm each other as Israelites, but we had to in this situation to so we can get him out of the land of Egypt and back where his forefathers was buried. Read on, Baba Kishore.
And 40 days were fulfilled for him. For so are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 70 days.
Which is a long period of time. It's a long period of time for we do have to go through a period of mourning for our dead, for our loved ones, for the ones who cease. But afterwards, as always, we gotta make ourselves happy again. We can't stay in that saddened state. Eventually, we gotta get out of a period of mourning and go back. We have to force ourselves to go back to what it was. Read on, Baba Kishore.
And when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spake unto the house of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, in the ears of Pharaoh, saying,
keep reading, Baba Kishore.
My father made me swear, saying, Lo, I die in my grave, which I have digged for me in the land of Canaan. There shalt thou bury me.
See, Joseph is telling the house of Pharaoh. He wanted it to be known to Pharaoh that he has to bury his father where his father wanted him buried, where with his forefathers, and Joseph he did a lot for Egypt. When Pharaoh had those dreams, he was able to interpret those dreams with the Most High, because the Most High was with him, and he was able to preserve Egypt and preserve us during that famine, during the time of famine. So Pharaoh will hearken to this Pharaoh will hearken to Joseph. Read on up the show.
Therefore, let me go up, I pray thee, and bury my father, and I will come again.
But the Egyptians did not want us to totally leave out the land of Egypt, because we was making them so prosperous. So Joseph had to say he'll come again, because it wasn't our time to leave out. Read on, Baba Kishore.
And Pharaoh said, Go up and bury thy father, according as he made thee swear.
And Pharaoh let us. Pharaoh allowed us to allow Joseph to bury our father, his father. Read, Baba Kishore.
And Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt.
Yeah, and not just Joseph. Joseph didn't just bury his dead. The servants of the house of Pharaoh, the elders of the house, the elders of the land of Egypt, and of course the rest of Israel's sons as well. So we're going to take it again in the Hebrew, from verses Genesis 8 to 14, Genesis 50, verse 8 through 14. I don't mind taking it. Wakal, this is the book of Genesis 15, verse 8. Wakal, Bayath, Yahweh, Wa Yewa, Wa Bayath, Abba Yewa, Rock, Tapum, Wa Taza Anum, Wa Ba Saki, Wa Ba Kwarum, Izabwa, Ba Araktaza Gershon, verse 9. Waya I'm Wa, Gum, Rakab, Gum, Parasyum, Wa Yahaya, Hama Chana, Kabad, Ma'ad, verse 10. Waya Ba'awa, Id, Garun, Ha'atad, Ashar, Ba'irab, Slaki, Ba'ibar, Ha-Yaradan, Waya Sapadwa, Shum, Ma Sapad, Gadawal, Wakabad, Ma'ad, Waya Al, it's like Why Ya Ish, La Abba Yawa, Abba Shabbaith Yamayam. Verse 11. Verse 11. Waya Ra'ah Ya was Shah Ha Aratza Ha Ka Na'ain Ya Ah Ha Abar Ba Garan Ha Atad Waya Amarwa Abal Kabad Za Lama Tazarium Al Khan Quara'a Shama Abal Ma Tazarium Ashar Ba I Bar Haya Radan. Verse 12. Waya Aishawa Bun Yawa Lowa Kun Ka Ashar Taza 1. Verse 13. Waya Sha'awa Afwa Bun Yawa Ara Taza Kana Ain Wa Ya Kwabar Wa Afwa Bama Irab. It's like Iraq Shada Ha Ma Kapala Ashar Kwana Abarham Ha Shada La Kha, it's like La Khaza Kwabar Ma'af I Paran Ha Khaya Al Panya Mama Ra'a. Verse 14. Waya Shah Yawasa Matazar Yama Ha Wa'a Wa Ak Yawa Wakal Ha Ayo Yum Afwa La Kwabar Af Abba Yawa Akarya Kwabarwa Af Abba Yawa. That's the end of verse 14. Can we get that in English? Genesis 50 and verse 8, Baba Kashar.
And all the house of Joseph and his brethren and his father's house, only their little ones and their flocks and their herds they left in the land of Goshen.
So we were in the land of Goshen in Egypt, and when we went to go bury our father our father Israel, Joseph. So some of the elders of the house of Egypt and Joseph, his brethren, Judas, Reuben, Simeon, Issachar, all Jacob's sons went to go bury him. Read, Baba Kishore.
And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great company.
And it was a very great company. We went up with chariots and horsemen. We read on, Baba Kishore.
And they came to the threshold of Atad, which is beyond Jordan. And there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days.
So we mourn for Israel. We mourn for him. We mourn for our father Israel. We mourn for our father Israel for 7 days. Read.
And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, "This is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians." Wherefore the name of it was called Abel Mazari, which is beyond Jordan.
And the inhabitants of Canaan, the Canaanites, they saw this mourning, and because we was in Egypt, and the Egyptian was rolling with us, they thought it was an Egypt. They thought it was Egypt. The Egyptians were mourning with us, but it was our mourning. The Egyptians really didn't have nothing to do with it. It was our mourning. It was because we was mourning for our forefather, Jacob, Israel. Read.
And his sons did unto him according as he commanded them.
And Jacob and Israel, his sons, we did as we was ordered. We did as we was ordered. Read, Baba Kishore.
For his sons carried him into the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham brought with the field for a possession of a burying place of Ephron, the Hittite, before Mamre.
Right. That same field that Abraham purchased. That's where Abraham and Sarah was buried. That's where Isaac and Rebekah was buried. That's where Leah was buried. Jacob, Israel's wife, and that's where Jacob was buried as well. Read.
And Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brethren, and all that went up with him to bury his father, after he had buried his father.
And as Joseph said he was going to come back, he did go back, and everybody that was with him, the elders of Egypt, Joseph's brothers, and they went back into Egypt. We're going to go back into the Hebrew, 15, Genesis 50 and verse 15. And we're going to go down to verse 20 and to the end of verse 21. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 50 and verse 15. Waya ra'awa, athya, yawasa, kaya, math, abba yaham, waya amarwa, lawa, yashatam nawa, yawasa, waha shab, ya yasha, ya la nawa, Kal, Ha'ain, Ashar. Most High Christ. We're gonna finish 7 in Hebrew first. Yahweh, this is the middle of Genesis 15, verse 15. I.S.U.P.K, Wahashab, Yashayab, La Nawa, Af, Kal, Ha'ain, Ashar, Gamala Nawa, Afwa. Verse 16. Wayataza, wow, Al, Ya.W.S.A.P, La Amar, Abba, Yak, Taza, Wa, La Panya, Ma Wafwa, La Amar, Ka, Tha Amarwa. Verse 17, Slakia. Ka, Tha Amarwa, La Ya.W.S.A.P, A Na'a, Sha'a, Na'a, Pa Sha, Ak Yaka, Wa Kha Ta'atham, Kaya, Ra'ai Ha, Gama La Wak, Wa'ai Tha, Sha'a, Na'a, La Pasha, I Badya, Allah, Allahya, Allahaya, Abba Yaka, Waya Bak, Ya.W.S.A.P, Bada Baram, Al Yawa. Verse 18. Waya Lakawa, Gum, Ak Yawa, Waya Pawa, Lapan Yawa, Waya Amarwa, Ha na Nawa, La Laka, La I Bad Yum. Verse 19. Waya Amar, Allahum, Ya.W.S.A.P, Al, Thaya Ra'awa, Kaya, Ha the Chaf, Allahayam, Anya. Verse 20. Wa'atham, Ha Shabbatham, Al Ya, Ra'aiha, Allahayam, Ha Shabbat, La Taba, La Ma'ain, Aisha, Kayawam, Hazah, La Ha Khayaf, Am, Rab. Verse 21. Wa'ai Al Tha Ya Ra'awa An Nakya A Kalakal Afkam Wa Tapakam Waya Nakam Al Watham Waya Debar Al La Bum. Okay, that's the end of verse 7. Award, do you mind take? Oh, okay. I was going to ask you for the second priest. You want to be Yitwa? You want to be second priest award? Or so he can get me Yitwa? Okay. Okay, Slock it. Oh, can you read verse 50 and verse 4? Oh, yeah, 15. Oh, sure.
Verse 15. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us, and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him.
Because Joseph's brethren, Joseph had these dreams of him of his brother bound down to him, and his mom and his father and mother bound down to him in his dreams, and he had this coat of many colors, and Jacob really loved Joseph, so they sold him into bondage, and now they're fearful of what might happen, or what Joseph might do to them. So read on.
And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, Thy father did command before he died, saying, So shall ye say unto Joseph, Forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sin, for they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him.
So Joseph's brethren, they sent a messenger to Joseph, reminding him that their father commanded him to forgive them. And when Joseph heard it, he just wept. He just wept because he knew that this was all the Most High's doing to save everybody, to save not only Joseph but Israel and Joseph's brethren and the whole house of the nation of Israel.
It was like they was trying to check his temperature, see if he was about to get his revenge,
Right,
stuff like that.
right.
Just trying, because they knew he was a powerful man at that point.
Right. Most High in Christ. Read on, Baba
Kashar. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we be thy servants.
So that dream that Joseph had, right at this moment in time, that's when it came to pass. When they bowed down to Joseph, because he was in a position of power, but that position of power was only to save the whole nation of Israel, not for Joseph to use for his own. And he didn't. So read, Baba Kashar.
And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass as it is the day to save much people alive.
Because 70 souls went into Egypt. That's how many, and those 70 souls created the whole nation, the house of Israel in Egypt. Read,
verse 21. Now therefore fear ye not, I will nourish you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spake kindly unto them.
But Joseph had no ill will toward his brethren, and he fed them. He fed their little ones. He kept everybody fed and clothed, and it was a good. He was a good ruler. So that's the end of verse 21. Now we're going to get Genesis 50 and verse 22 to the end of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 2. So that's oh, sorry. What? Wow. Oh, we got a third check. I don't mind me. You want to go here? Then Bakari, I was sitting with him. We're going to bring up our precinct officer for. Oh, take it quickly. Oh, fine. We left off at Genesis Genesis 50 and verse 22. Yes.
The book of Genesis, chapter 20.
Oh, we got to do it.
Slop.
Let me take it. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 50 and verse 22 in the Hebrew. Y-Yashab, Yahweh Ba-Ma Tezaria, Hawa Wa-Ba-Yah, Abba-Yua, Y-Ya-Ya, Yahweh Ma'a, Wa-Ishar, Shanyam. Verse 23. Y-Ya-Ra'ah, Yahweh La-Aharyam, Banya, Shalash Yam, Gum, Banya, Makayar, Bun, Ma, Nesha, Yaladwa, Al, Barak, Yahweh. Verse 24. Waya Amar, Yahweh Al, Ak, Yawa, Anak, Ya, Math, Wa'alaham, Wa'alahayam, Pa Quad, Ya Pa Quad, Abakam, Wa'ala, Afkam, Man Ha Arataza, Haza'af, Al Ha Arataza, Ashar, Na Shabai La Baraham La Yatazakak Wala Ya Iqua. Oh, sorry. Wala Yaiqua. Verse 25. Waya Shabai Ya Wasap Af Banya Ya Sharala La Amar Paquad Ya Paquad Ala Hayam Afkam Waha Al Hum Af Taza Mafia Mazak. Verse 26. Waya Maf Yawasap Ban Ma'af Wa Ashar Shanyam Waya Khanat Wa Afwa Wa Yayasham Ba'a Rawan Ba Ma Tazari. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 1. Now, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Waya'a Wa'ala Shamawaf Ban Ya Yasharala Ha Ba'ayam Ma Tazar Yama A Yaiqua Ayash Wa Ba Yafwa Ba Awa. Verse 2. Ra'aban Shamai Wan Lo Ya Waya Yahawada. That's the end of verse 2. So 4.
Read on. The book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 22. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 110 years. And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the third generation, and the children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were brought up upon Joseph's knees. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and God will surely visit you, and bring you out of this land unto the land which he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And Joseph took an oath of the God of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt.
Right, leave right there. So you can see that Israel, we bury our dead. We do not, light them on fire and burn them like the heathens do, right? Joseph was buried. So as you can see, he served his purpose. Israel went into the land of Egypt, right? Joseph set them up in a good part of the land. And then now this is the end of his life. So then now is going to be the beginning of the whole entire nation of Israel sojourning in the land of Egypt. Starting verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came unto Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah.
Verse 2. That's in verse 7. That's 7 verses, sir. 7 verses, okay. So now you can see that now the entire family is now in the land of Egypt. Joseph passed away. So now it's going to go into the history. You can take the next step.
This is Exodus 1 and verse 3. We're going to take it down all the way down to the end of 9. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 3. I.S.U.P.K. Zabawalan. Waban Yaman. Done. Verse 4, done. Wa na Pathalia. God. Wa Ashar. Verse 5. Wa Yahaya. Ka. Napat. Ya Taza. Ya Rock. Rock's like the rock. Yaikwa. Shaba Ayam. Napap. It's like Napash. Wa Ya Wasap. Haya Bama Tazar Yum. Verse 6. Wayamath Ya Wasap Wakal Ak Yawa Wakal Ha the war Ha. Verse 7. Wa Banya Yasharala Parwa Wa Yash Shawa Tazawa Wa Yarabwa Wa Yai Tazamwa Ba Ma'ai Wasa Mala'a Ha Aratiza Atham. Verse 8. Waya Kwam Malak Khadash Al Ma Tazar Yum Ashar La'a Yadai Ah Yawasap. Verse 9. La Ya Amar Ainwa Hana Ain Banya Yashrala Rab Wa'ai Tazawam Mama Saki Mama Now. That's the end of verse 9 and 7.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 3. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren and all their generations. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Okay, now let's go back up, because if you look at the numbers might be skewed, because you see Dan was mentioned among the children of Israel, right? And you see Joseph as well, because at that time the tribe of Levi didn't have an inheritance, so they were counted as a tribe at that time. So you had Dan and you had Joseph. So when Joseph died and then Dan didn't produce enough male children, he got absorbed into Manasseh. And Joseph, when we read earlier in the earlier chapter, that Jacob took the children of Joseph as his own biological children, even though they are his grandchildren, but he took them as his sons. So that's how that's how Manasseh and Ephraim replaced Joseph and Dan in the lineage, right? So now when you jump down, and it says, verse 6, and Joseph died and all his brethren and all the generation, and the children were fruitful and increased abundantly. So just like it was in ancient Egypt, it's just the same way in America, right? When we came here in the land of America, right, during the Middle Passage, millions of Israelites died between the transatlantic slave trade, right? Oh. So now, just like in America, what are we doing? We're multiplying. We're fruitful. Because why? The Lord blessed us, right? Read on.
That was in the Sabbath, sir.
Okay.
If I could, sir, in Exodus 1:8, when it says a new king over Egypt knew not Joseph, it just shows how the Pharaoh was our oppressor at that time,
right? And
it shows that our oppressor can just switch it up quick. Once they see that because he didn't care what Joseph did for Egypt, like the new king, he didn't care that Joseph saved Egypt. He just wanted to use and abuse us, the Israelites. He saw us as a threat, and he wanted to make sure he can manage this so-called threat and try to keep us low, so to speak.
Right. When it says a new king that knew not Joseph, meaning, like you said, he didn't recognize Joseph's contribution. And also, at that time in the antiquities, in the history, that Joseph actually rose to the position of Pharaoh. Because at that time, when the Ramses I was ruling, and Joseph became second in command, when he passed away, Joseph rose to the position. And in history, we were called the Hyksos, which means shepherd kings, right? And it says that the shepherds was an abomination to the Egyptians. So we were separated. So also when it says that the new king arose, it shows you that when Joseph died, a new king came in. So if a new king came in, that means that when Joseph was there, he was in the position of the king, right? So a lot of people don't know that Israel actually ruled in Egypt for a period of time. So then when Joseph passed away, that's when the heathen came back into power and they took over. Just like in the Dark Ages, when the Most High allowed us to interrupt Esau's rulership, right, for 1,000 years, called the Dark Ages, we interrupted the end of the Roman Empire, and it became known as the Holy Roman Empire. Well, just like back then in Egypt, we rose and we built all those pyramids, right? One of the greatest pyramids built in Egypt was called the Step Pyramid. Now, why was that pyramid built in that position different from every other pyramid? You know why?
Jacob's ladder.
To commemorate Jacob's dream of the ladder. So Joseph knew the story, so he built it in commemoration of his father, the Step Pyramid. Remember the ladder that Jacob seen the angels ascending and descending on. So that right there is point proof that the Israelites ruled in Egypt, and then they buried us in history under the name Hyksos, which is shepherd kings. All right, so now
we want to, if I could, we want to Exodus chapter 10 to end verse 16.
Priest Malaki said we had to cut the class around 11:15, so we're going to do that last reading. We're going to read the English, and then we're going to do the prayers.
Okay, this is the book of Exodus, the 1 verse 10 in the Hebrew. Ha ba na tha ha kana lawa pun ya ba wahaya kaya tha kwara ana malachama wana wasa gum hawa I shana yanawa wa na laham bun wa ala man ha arakaza wa ya sham yum wa ya sham yum wa I yawa Sharya, Matayam, Lama Ain, I Nahwa, Basa Baltham, Y Yaban, I Raya, Masa Khan, Wa, La Paraiha, Ah Patham, Wa Masas. Verse 12. Waka Ashar Ya I Nawa Wa Kan Ya Rabba Wa Kan Ya Parataza Wa Ya Kwa Tazawa Ma Panya Banya Yashua, verse 13. Waya I Badwa Matazarium Banya Yashua Ba Parak, verse 14. Waya Mararwa Hayaya Hum Ma Ba I Ba Bada Kwasha Ba Khamar Wa Ba Labanyam Wa Ba Cow I Bada Ba Shada Cow I Bad Thumb Ashar I Bad Wa Ba Hum Ba Harak, verse 50. Waya Amar Ma Lak Ma Tazari Lama Ya Sakima Lama Ya Daf Ha Ibad Ya Ashar Sham Ha Kha Shapara Wa Sham Wa Shan Ya Ha Wa Ha. Verse 16. Waya Amar Ba the Kun Ha I Bar Yawa Ya Yathan Io Ha I Bunyam Bun Ha Wa Ha Ma Thun Wa Ba Ha Ya Wa Ha Ya. That's in verse 16.
Okay. We'll take it from
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and come to pass.
And
it come to pass that when they're falling out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
right, stop right there, right? Let's examine that verse right there. Exodus 1 and 10, right? It says, come on and let us deal wisely with them, right? This is talking about integration, right? That's why the Most High told us not to integrate with these heathen nations. Because as soon as we get amongst them, what did they start doing? They start plotting against us, right?
That's right.
bring it up to today. How did they deal wisely with us? Do you know in the Dark Ages, right, when we ruled, every time Israel get in a position of rulership, we always have what? Infighting, a lack of brotherhood, right? We start fighting amongst each other. So what happened when our brother Esau was up in the caves of Europe and we was in the process of fighting each other, the ones of us that was in Europe was fighting against the ones of our brothers that was in the Middle East and the land of Israel, right? That's where you had the so-called crusades over the land of Egypt, Israel, right? So then one group went into the Caucasus Mountains and recruited Esau, cleaned them up, and put him to join our ranks. Another group, right, that was like the Moors in them, they went up in there also, and they recruited Esau, cleaned him up. And that's how Esau converted to Christianity and converted to Islam, right? So now, while we were fighting amongst each other, Esau was there, what? Being taught by us, learned our ways, and eventually they rose in power and destroyed us because of what? Lack of brotherhood. Well, we'll bring it up to today. They used Martin Luther King to tell us, right, to join with them. We joined with them, and what happened to us? Black businesses, black industry, everything fell apart. And we went from being producers to what? To be the consumers now. So right here, just even from the beginning in our history, that every time we got among the heathen nations, as far as integration, the nations always plot against us, and we end up falling. So when you read on, you're going to see it. Verse 11.
Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasures cities, Pithom and Ramesses.
Right, now, like we did here in America, right? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, the chosen people of the Most High God, the real Jews according to the Bible, right? We build up treasure cities. What's that treasure city? America, right? Every nation on the earth that Israelites is among, we always build them up, just like we was in Egypt, and Joseph helped Egypt to become a great empire. Well, if you bring the history of the Bible up to today, is the same thing. They put us in slavery. We built this great kingdom, and now we're here waiting for our king to return to deliver us. Read on.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with vigor.
I mean, a hard bondage. You understand? Read on.
Sloppy, sir. Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
How you say bring that up to today? You know, it says you multiply, and they ain't like that, so they made us work even more. That's how they did us through slavery. We kept, even though they tried to kill us through the crack epidemic, we still was growing, and they still tried to make us work no matter what. They can't stop it. You know, they really mad about that, sir.
Right, even Jim Crow, right? During Jim Crow, what we had, Black Wall Street. Right. So meaning that no matter how much they oppress us, the Most High still allows, because the Spirit of the Lord is in us, to always flourish and prosper within that captivity. It's a good point you brought out.
Verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with vigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, and mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with vigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shapara, and the name of the other Pua. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Now, see, the Bible is speaking in something that we could understand today. What are we talking about here? It's talking about abortion. Right? Now, back then, when a woman gave birth, they didn't have a woman lay down horizontally, like flat on her back. She actually stooped down over a bowl of water. So that's what it says when she was sitting on the stool, and if it's a male child, kill him, have an abortion. Right? But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. And then spiritually, we bring it up to today, what do? They oppress the black man, right? And they elevate the black woman over the black man to what? Throw the nation into chaos. because that's not the natural order of things. Right? Hold that. Get me 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. So this is very strategic. Remember, when we read up in the earlier verse, it says, let us deal wisely with them. Right? And get me Daniel's 8:25.
Right, sir?
Come. Read.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
So Paul right here is saying what? Follow him just like how Paul followed Christ. Read on.
Come. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things.
That you remember Paul in everything that you do, meaning like the example he left behind. Read on.
Come. And keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
What is an ordinance? An ordinance, what's the root word of an ordinance? The order. So Paul said, keep the order as he delivered it to us. So let's find out what is the order of things. Read on.
Come. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
That the head of every man is what?
Every man is Christ.
Read on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. See, so this is the order of things. Read on.
The head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
See, so that's the order. The Most High God, Yahushua, right? The angels, the 70 elders, the man, the woman, and the children. That's the order of things. So when it says in the scriptures, let's deal wisely with them, it's the strategy that they've been doing against the nation of Israel from the beginning. Elevating the woman over the man and suppressing the man. Right? How did they do this? Get me in, and we're going to see how he did this.
Daniel 8:25. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 25. And through his policy.
And through his what?
Policy.
And through his policy. You see, so this is something that a policy is what? A plan of action, right? This is something like they implement a law. And through his policy, read on.
Also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
They shall cause craft to prosper in their hands. So they know, they have our records, they have the laws, right? They know that the nation of Israel is set up by order, man, women, and child. So what did our oppressor do? To give, because we was in poverty, what did they do? They came out with social programs, right, to help poor families. But they used that policy as a detriment to us because they told the black woman, if you want help from the government, you have to kick the man out of the house and then we will help you. So then that did what? That separated black families. And then spiritually continued to now, we have the so-called battle of the sexes, right? Where you say women say they don't need men and men are, saying women or whatever they're saying, the whole red pill, incel problem that we have, right? But there should be no red pill, blue pill, right? Battle of the sexes. The sexes should be having sex because the Most High said what? That the order of things is man, woman, and child. You understand? Right. And that's why you see what? When you see that women have more college degree than men, it was designed to what? To throw everything out of order. That's why the scripture also said what? Surely you're turning of things upside down. And that's what they did. They turned the whole nation upside down by what? Throwing everything out of balance. So your sisters out there should be what? You should know that your husband is not your enemy, that the men of your nation is not your enemy. The men of your nation was set up by the Most High God, and that's the order. He is your protection. You understand? He is the teacher of what? Reason. Because women are emotional. Doesn't mean that women are not smart. But when it comes to decision making, a man deals with what? Rationality, right? He uses what? Reason. Women tend to go off emotion. That's why they said when a woman is on a cycle, she's what? She's unpredictable, right? She's moody. You understand? And that's why a man is in that position to what? To rule the family. So then when a woman is going through her cycles and her emotion, she don't make an impulsive decision that could overthrow the whole family. Right. You understand? She go to her husband and he used reason and the words of the Most High God, Yahweh, the laws of the Bible to lead his family. Right. You understand? So where we at?
We at verse 4, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 4.
No, that's it. That's it. Go back to Exodus. Verse 15. Read 15 again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shipporah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
See, so this is a policy that even the Egyptians did against us. They always want to what? Destroy the family.
Right.
And it starts with the man. So if it starts with the man, that shows you that what? Spiritually, though, the man is supposed to be the head. He is the protection. He is the decision maker. You understand? And what's the last verse? Read on. That's it. All right. So it's lucky for being late, for showing up late. But that's going to be the end of this reading. We're going to take it back up next Saturday, Lord allow. So we're going to Imadium. The horn, iPod. You do the one again? Which chalice did he use earlier?
You.
Did he use the same one? Yahweh Shem Yahshua
La Yasha'Allah, which means to Israel.
Khan. So the Torah.
Men of Israel, come, present yourself to the Torah. Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
Please, Malaki, you want to salute the Torah? Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
That Israel, Amaju, which means to stand.
Upanya Hakwadam, rise and face the east.
Sorry, we're going to them right.
Yes, Sar, Wapanya Hakwadam, rise and face the east. You want to do the what are you doing? Lord's Prayer. Oh, you got it.
This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. And when we pray, we lift up our holy hands. And repeat after me. This is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwithka. Tabah. Zayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baharatiza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemayim. Nathanawa. Lacham. Kal. Yawan. Wasalaknawa. Kabawaknawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawakinawa. Wala'ah. Yainawa, Wanasai one, Abo, Awashino, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Lacha, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahadara, Wabalumium, Aman. Right, this is the Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
This is the hakak, the power. Yahweh by Yahushua. Yahweh by Yahushua.
Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Baba Kushar. Nathanael. Achat. Achat. Lar Pa'ar. Kal Makala. Wakal Madawa. Achat. Latahar. Amatazariah. Achat. Wa'achrim. Amathim. Achat. Arakawat. Atama'ala. The Gorishun. By Hashem Yahushua. Right? This is the prayer for the power in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessed Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Barak Lanao.
Barak Lanao.
Why
Yasharallah.
Wahabayat.
Wahabayat. Saparian.
Barak. By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Wadaman.
This is the blessed Israel in English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the schools. In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahushua?
Why Yahushua?
Why Mayaka'ala?
Why Mayaka'ala? Why Lahayim? Matazba'a. Alawak Yahanna. Alawak Yahanna. Arasaranya. Akwata Zayayim. Achayayim. Wahahwathim. Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushua. Blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahanna. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
This is Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha.
Ayanya. Ahoriel. Mahayan. Yabaa. Isaiah. Ma'ain. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Waratiza. Ayatan. Namawat. Regalka. Ayanawan. Shemarka. Ana. La'a. Yanawan. La'a. Yaishun. Jawmar. Yasharallah. Yahweh. Shemarka. Yahweh. Kazalka. Aliyah. Yamyaka. Yawaman. Ashamash. La'a. Lachayaka. Laira. Layala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Kawa. Yashamar. Aktapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Wa'atka. Wa'itha. Wa'id. Now you alone. It's 121st Psalm in English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evils.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Al-Hayam.
Al-Hayum.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Bakarash.
Al-Dakharash.
Al-Bashakwat.
Wa-Al-Dashakwat.
Al-Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Al-Yabika.
Yahaman.
Yahaman.
Yawun.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Yahweh.
Sawada.
Why Yatha.
Wayatha.
Ya-Itazawar.
Ya'itazawar.
Al-Tazapawanyika.
Amorwa.
Lakawa.
Lakhwa. Wanakakida. Wagawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yashua.
Shom Yasha'ala.
Iwuda.
Iwuda. Kaya. Wa'itazawar. Ba.
Yakhadwa.
Khadwa.
Al-Yaka.
Al-Yaka.
Baryat.
Waryat.
Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa.
Ahalia.
Ahalia.
Adawam.
Adawan.
Wayashima.
Wayashmai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagaria.
Wagorium.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'amawan.
Waimawan.
Wamalak.
Waimulak.
Walashat.
Halashat.
Am-Yashabi.
Am-Yashabya.
Kazawar.
Kazawar.
Gamashawar.
Gamashawar.
Alawat.
What?
Aiman.
Aiman.
Ayawat.
Hayawah.
Arawat.
Zowai.
Labanyalawat.
Labanyalawat.
Salat.
Salah.
Ashalalaham.
Aishalahum.
Kamadi.
Kamadian.
Kasayasara'a.
Kasayasara.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Barakah.
Wanakal.
Koyashwa.
Koyashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Yashamadwa.
Ba'ayan. Ba'ayan.
Bahayan.
Da'ara.
Dahara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adatma.
La Dadma.
Shayathanwa.
Shayatanwa.
Nadiyatmawa.
Nadayadmawa.
Ka'ira.
Kaira.
Wakaza
Wakazaaba.
Wakazaba.
Wakazaba.
Wakakazamana.
Wakaltazamanai.
Kanasiya Kamwa.
Ho Nasiya Kunwa.
Ashur.
Ashur.
Amorwa.
Amorwa.
Naya Rashad.
Nairasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa. Af.
Na'awa.
Na'awath.
Alahayam.
Alahayum.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayathanwa.
Shayatanwa.
Kagagala.
Kagalgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya. Rawaka.
Lapanya Waka.
Tharadatma.
Daradadma.
Basa-Iraka.
Basa Iraka.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapaka.
Wapaka.
Tabahalam.
Dabalum.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Palawan.
Kwalawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wabakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka. Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabahawa.
Wahabahawa.
Ayai.
Aidai.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayabakarwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayabadwa.
Aywa.
Aidwa.
Wayata.
Kayata.
Shamka.
Shamka. Yahawa.
Labaka.
Labadka.
Aliwan.
Aliwan.
Al-Kaharatiza.
Al-Kaharatiza. This is Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still,
And be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies
thy enemies
make a tumult,
make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
The name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
Tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Israelites
of Moab
Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and
Gabal
Gabal
and Ammon
and
and Amalek,
Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of
the
Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre.
Assurance also joined with them.
So also join with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as unto Sarah,
as to Jabin,
as unto Jabin,
at the brook of
the
Kison,
brook of Kishon,
which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth.
they became as dung as the earth.
Made their nobles like Horeb,
They knew like a wind,
and like Ziel.
and said, yeah,
Yea,
yeah,
all their princes,
all their princes,
as Zabah and as Zamunah, who said, let us take to ourselves
let's take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh
the house of Yahweh
in possession.
possession.
O my
O
power,
my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
and so before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
the flame sets the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
thy tempest,
and make them afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
thy storm,
Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh,
Yahweh,
let them be confounded
make them bound,
and troubled forever.
trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them put to shame,
and perish,
perish,
that men may know
that they may know
that thou,
thou,
whose name alone
name alone,
is Yahweh,
Yahweh,
art the most high
the Most High,
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sisters, Shabim, men of Israel, I'm going to give a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Aimadim Shabbat, Aimadim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatham. At the top, Saw, face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters of the nation of Israel. Sisters, your hands should be clasped, right hand over left, feet at a 45-degree angle, your head covered and bowed, and then you give the salute back to us. Men of Israel, Aimadim Shabbat, Aimadim, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Alatham by Hashem Yahushua. At your matah, class dismissed. Cut the feet, Babu Kusha.
Come.